Guys, welcome back to Codin. So guys, I hope you all are doing great and having a lovely time and understanding each and every concept that I'm telling you, and also understanding with the short videos as well. So guys, in the today lesson, what we are going to discuss, we are going to discuss about the switching techniques, transmission medias, that is the guided transmission medias, and how do we work with all the switching technique, different types of techniques that are present. So guys, if you're new to my channel, please do like it, share, subscribe to my channel. Already on my YouTube channel, I posted content regarding Excel, Python, Java, C++, and HTML, CSS, and many other videos that are really useful for you. And this is the full network playlist in which we are diving into the network and understanding each and everything very clearly. So let's get started with the video without wasting any time and understand the concept of switching techniques as well as the transmission media. Now coming to the very first thing, we need to know that we are clear about what do we mean by a network. So now whenever I'm talking about a network involves some ways through which we can perform something on that. So basically, we all know the significance of network. We know that how we are sharing the information. Now there are different techniques that are provided for the communication so that we can work with network. So these techniques are circuit switching, message switching, and packet switching. So these are three types of techniques that we will learn one by one. That what does each technique do? Number one comes the circuit switching. So whenever I'm talking about the circuit switching, what it happens? First of all, there is a physical connection between two computers. That is from the where the data is to be transmitted, that is the source computer, and where the data is to be transmitted, that is the destination computer. Then what happens when a computer places a telephone call? The switching equipment within the telephone system seeks a physical copper path all the way from the central telephone to the receiver telephone. Like whenever we are calling through a telephone line, so what it happens? A transmission medium is going through the phone towards the other medium, and then it builds a connection between the receiver end and the source end. So the important property of this switching technique is to set up an end-to-end connection between computer before any data can be sent. So basically when I'm talking about a circuit switching, it does mean that we have to create a path whenever I want to share some information between two things. Kind of switching technique, that is the message switching. So in this technique, the source computer sends data or message to the switching office first, which stores the data in a buffer. Now in the previous case, what it was doing, we are creating a physical connection. But in this case, it is not creating a physical connection, but instead, first of all, it is storing the data into the buffer. And it then looks for a free link to another switching offices and send that data to that desired office. So this process is continued until the message is delivered to the destination. Owing to its working principle, it is also known as store and forward. Means first of all, the message will be stored in a buffer, and after that it will be forwarded to the destination computer or wherever the destination receiver is present. So basically taken from the source, stored it, and then forwarded. So that is why it is also called as store and forward. Third type of switching technique that we use is the packet switching technique. So whenever I'm talking about a packet switching plays a message which is similar to the message switching, but there is a no limit on block size. Means whenever I was storing in a buffer, there could be a limit for that. So packet switching plays a tight upper limit on the block size. A fixed size of packet which can be transmitted across the network is specified. Another point of difference from message switching is that packets are stored on disk in message switching, whereas in packet switching all packets are fixed and stored in the main memory. So what is the basic importance of this? That is improved performance, as also the access time taken to deliver to the package to the desired destination part. So thus the throughput of the network is also improved with the help of packet switching. So mostly the type of switching that is used is the packet switching, so as to reduce the access time and also the improved performance with the help of throughput. So we will be understanding about the different types of things that we use in a network and what each and everything means. That what do we mean by throughput, what are data signals, and other things as well. The transmission media is the main thing that plays a very important role, and how it is the way through which we are using different kinds of cables and how do we work with different things. So whenever we're talking about transmission media, all communication channels of a network, it is meant to be same. It means basically connecting cables or connecting medias, so to create a communication. So whenever I'm talking about a local area network, many different kinds of media are used: copper conductors, various other medias, and various other things are being used. So basically whenever I'm talking about transmission media, they are divided into two categories. One is the guided media, another is the unguided media. So whenever I'm talking about guided media, so what does it mean by guided media? Guided media includes cables, and unguided media includes waves through air, water, or vacuum. So basically you understand by cables, like wherever a connection or wire is there, that is called as guided media. Whenever I'm talking about unguided, it will include air, water or vacuum. Means the waves part that is included, that are called as unguided media. So in this lesson today, what we are going to discuss, we are going to discuss the guided media. Now coming to the very first type of guided media, that is a twisted cable, pair cable. So now this is the most common of wiring in data communication, that is the twisted pair cable. So as a voice grade medium, it is the basis of internal office telephone wiring. It consists of two identical wires trapped into a double helix. As you can see on the screen also, this is the type of a twisted pair cable. Here we can see there, this is a twisted pair cable with a PVC jacket, foil and a copper wire, and also has a shield. So this is the twisted pair cable, unshielded as well as the shielded pair cable. So now how does the twisting of these wires work and what is each and every part called? So we have different types of twisted pair cables, but we have two things in common. The wires are common in pairs. The pairs of wires are twisted around each other. So twisting of wires reduce crosstalk. Now what do I mean by crosstalk? The bleeding of a signal from one wire to another, which can corrupt a signal and cause network error. So basically what do you mean by crosstalk? Whenever a signal is being interrupted or it been corrupted, so for that interference, what we use a crosstalk. So when the advantages of using a twisted pair cable, it is first of all very simple. It is easy to install and maintain. It is very physically flexible. It has a low weight. It can be easily contracted. It is very less expensive. It is not very expensive. Now coming to the disadvantages, because of high authentication, it's incapable to carrying a single over long distances without the use of repeaters. It has low bandwidth capabilities, making for broadband application. It supports maximum data rate 1 Mbps without conditioning and 10 Mbps without conditioning. So basically the difference is 1 Mbps without conditioning and 10 Mbps with conditioning. So these are some of the disadvantages. Now we have types of twisted pair cable, that are UTP cable. Now when I'm talking about the UTP cable, that is unshielded, and when I'm talking about the STP cable, that is the shielded. Now what is the difference between this? UTP cable used for variety of electronic communication, it is available in four categories, as you can see: CAT1, CAT2, CAT3, CAT4 and CAT5. Whereas the UTP cables have maximum segment of 100 meters only. Now when I'm talking about the shielded cable, the types of cable come with a shielding, individual pairs of wire which further produce external interference. So the advantage of STP or UTP is that offers great protection from interference or crosstalk due to shielding. Because we have a shielded layer over it, so it is reduced amount of crosstalk that happens. Next kind of cable that we use is the coaxial cable. So this type of cable consists of a solid wire core surrounded by one or more foils or wire shield, is separated by some kind of plastic conductor insulator. So basically the inner core carries the signal and the shield provides the ground. So as you can see on the screen, this is the coaxial cable. One have a conductor, insulator, wire mesh and the outer shield. So the coaxial cable has high electrical properties and is suitable for high speed communication. So the data transmission characteristics of coaxial are considerably better than as compared to the twisted pair cables. So now coming to the advantages of the coaxial cable, the data transmission characters of coaxial cable are considerably better than that of twisted pair cables. The coaxial can be used for a shared cable network, can also be used for a broadband transmission. Channels can be transmitted as with the table or KB over higher bandwidths up to 400 Mbps it can produce. Now coming to the disadvantages, expensive compared to twisted pair. The coaxial cable are not compatible with twisted pair cables. Now we also have types of coaxial cable as we are having the types of twisted pair. So it is thicknet and thinnet. Thicknet is the form of coaxial thinner than thinnet. So it is have 5 meters long, 500 meters long. Whereas thinnet is the coaxial cable thinner and it can have maximum length of 185 meters. Using the cable nodes having maximum distance of 185 meters can be joined. So this is the basic difference between thicknet and thinnet type of coaxial. Next comes the type of cable that is the most commonly used and the most usable these days. That is the optical fiber. So the optical fiber consists of thin strands of glass or glass-like material which are constructed to carry light from a source at the end of the fiber to a detector to the other end. So as you can see, the fiber optic cable, core, cladding and the sheath. So basically these parts are involved in a coaxial cable. So basically the fiber consists of three pieces: the core, that is the glass or plastic through which the light travels; the cladding, which is the cover of the core that reflects light back to the core; the protective coating, which protects the fiber cable from hostile environment. So these are the three parts that are majorly involved in a when I am talking about the optic fiber. So now what are the advantages of an optic fiber? It is immune to electrical and magnetic interface. It is very highly sustainable for harsh industrial environments. It guarantees secure transmission and a very high transmission capacity. This is the best of the one source that through which we can perform very high transmission capacity. Fiber optic cables can be used for broadband transmission. There are other channels also, and also we use in various forms. Next we have what are disadvantages. Installation problem: fiber optics are quite fragile and may need special care. Connecting either two fiber together or light source to a fiber is difficult process. Light can reach the receiver out of phase. Connection loss is a common problem. Fiber optic cables are difficult to solder. They are the most expensive type of cable. All of the cable, this is the most expensive type of cable. But these are the most used types of cable. So basically the type of fiber optic cables can be single load that supports up to 2 km and bandwidth of 100 Mbps, multi-node with 100 kilometers and bandwidth of 2 gigabytes per second. So here you can see on the screen, this is the fiber optic cable that are present, and this is the basic thing. Now you have a difference of the guided medias compared to the cost, interference, installation bandwidth, and the maximum supported length. So this is the twisted pair cable, coaxial cable, fiber optic, the difference between them and the types, and also the cost of installation. So these are the basic difference of these three. So guys, I hope you must be clear about what do you mean by different kinds of switching techniques, and what are the different switching techniques that we use and how it based upon a network, and also different kinds of transmission medias that are available, that is the guided as well as the unguided. So in this lesson I've just discussed about the guided media. So in the next lesson I'm going to discuss about the unguided media. So guys, if you like it, please do like it, share, subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Keep smiling and take care.